views expressed on this program are not those of IntellectualRadio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady Rochelle.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady Rochelle, where we move away from awareness towards action. It is Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is issues plaguing couples. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from Roman with the drive at 5, actually. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. The quote of the day is, don't rush into any relationship. Work on yourself, feel yourself, experience yourself, and love yourself. Do this first, and you will soon attract that special other loving person. I am grateful for my sponsors. We have Gloria Dotson with Mary Kay, Paula Kelly with Allstate, and Pastor Michael Richardson with Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we are from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Awesome. Make sure you check them out. Here are your trending stories for today. According to CNN, some of the health experts warn the United States may be on the verge of another COVID-19 surge if Americans aren't careful, just as they rush to get vaccinated. There are 2 key things that the U.S. can do to prevent infections, hospitalizations, and deaths, said Dr. Fauci. First, keep pushing down and doubling down on the public health measures. 2, you can do whatever you can do to make sure that people get vaccinated quickly. On the vaccine front, the U.S. has been doing an extremely good job. According to Fauci, the country reports a new record over the weekend, vaccinating more than 4 million people, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Those are your trending topics for today. Joining me is none other than cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, Rosal Gilmore. Hello, Rosal.
Hello, Lady Rochelle.
How are you?
I am wonderful, excited. You know what it is.
It's Relationship Monday. We are excited. Yeah. If you are tuning in, please like, share the show, invite somebody else in on the show so that they can get this valuable information. Our topic again is issues plaguing couples. And last week we talked about Derek Jackson and his confession that he was cheating. We talked about fraud or flawed. And so today's topic kind of like rolls over into that. But if you missed that, you can go over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio for any episodes of Warriors Talk that you missed. So Rosal, last week was actually a good show, but I don't really think we really tapped into the issues that couples have. So we talked about infidelity. So we know that that's one of the major issues that a lot of couples face.
Absolutely. We touched on, well, because we was talking about Derek. So, but yeah, this is more so like a spinoff where we can get a little bit more in depth on the situation.
Right. So infidelity and affairs is actually number 3 on my list, but number 1 would be misaligned communication styles.
Okay. I can go for that. There is a lot of miscommunication in a lot of couples. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't know how to talk to each other. We don't know how to verbalize what's eating at us. And I think I said last show, like we can't be stuck on things that's built up, because those things are the things that causes cancer, causes stress and all of that, all because, you know, you're unhappy with your partner, whether they did something or not. Like, you have to, put your feelings out there. You have to express yourself to them. That's what they're there for, whether good or bad. You got to be able to tell them, what's going on.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we expect our partners to read our minds. We expect them to just automatically know that something is going on, that we have an attitude, that we're unhappy about something. And when they don't read our mind, then we get even more mad. And it ends up festering inside of us instead of just saying, hey, babe, like that hurt my feelings, or, I'm feeling this type of way. I don't know why we have an issue communicating. Maybe we feel like that person is not going to receive it well, and I think that's why you should make sure that you're telling them in the right tone. It's the right place, and you're not attacking them. So it's the way that you say it. But it seems like we have an issue really, I don't want to say confronting people, but just communicating to our partners how we feel.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, that they feel like they're under attack. And that's always been the case for a long time. Like you said, the tone and how you say it is very important, because that's what's going to set the conversation. Either it's going to set it off
Yeah.
or it's going to, get you to a point like, okay, thank you, I get it, let's try and change things. But more than likely, it always set it off, because people just don't know, especially if you got, a lady or a male who's just a loud mouth and want to talk, or their attitude is messed up. It's not going to go very well. It's not. I could tell you that from firsthand. And then it becomes hard. Like you said, you don't want to hurt the other people's feelings. So you don't tell them certain things, hiding it from them, but not knowing that you not saying anything to that person is hindering your peace as well. Because one, it's eating you up. Two, nothing is getting resolved. Three, you're adding now to the daggers that you're going to be throwing when the next offense or whatever happen and come. So instead of one dagger, you got 7 of them coming at you, and you don't want that, or you're throwing 7 when it was just supposed to be 1, which all could be resolved by a simple conversation.
I totally agree. According to statistics, it says a recent study revealed that poor communication is the number one reason why couples split up.
I could go for that.
It says a lot of times it says rather than fussing at each other or tossing insults, that we should be aligning ourselves to be on one accord when we speak to our partners. And I don't know. I think that if you don't know your partner, then the reason why you're afraid to talk to them is maybe because you have seen them go off on somebody else. So you already know what's going to happen if you say something to them. But if I'm sleeping with this person, then I should not be afraid to open my mouth and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Because when you're in a intimate space with them, and I said this yesterday, I was on the show, and when you're in an intimate space with them, maybe that's the time to tell them. Maybe that's the time to say, hey, babe, this is what's going on. If you're afraid to talk to them any other time, you're kind of like putting them in a vulnerable spot, which is kind of like manipulating, but not really.
And at the same time, you killing the mood because you want to bring this up now.
No, this is
and we
after.
hear this like, wait a minute. Pillow talk.
This is right. This is pillow talk. This is after we're cuddling.
Pillow talk after the whole thing.
Right. You just give it maybe about 30 minutes, and then you just bring it up. You be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And at that point, they may be receptive. Maybe they probably won't even remember what you said after they leave that room. But at least you got it off your chest.
But wouldn't it be uncomfortable to be in a relationship with somebody that you got to be on your P's and Q's with all the time? Who wants to go through that? Who wants to deal with that? Because you're afraid of what they might say, or they're going to fire back, or they're going to set it off. That's not a healthy relationship. And that's something that I wouldn't want to deal with.
Believe it or not, there are some people who are in relationships like that where they cannot communicate with their partner. So they're hiding things from their partner because they're afraid of how they're going to react. Mylea said, do you think marriage counseling can help couples to become better communicators? Absolutely.
I do think that marriage counseling can help couples become better communicators. But again, it all starts at home. I read a post the other day that men have to be able to communicate to women and do and say good things, but women has to show and do the same thing as well. It's not just the man's job. We both have to be on, as we say, one accord. We need to have the same rhythm. We need to be putting out the same energy, because usually what the kids see is what they duplicate. I always say you're a model from what you model from. So if you came from a house of chaos, 9 times out of 10, your house is going to be in chaos once you get there and get it, because you didn't see communication and happiness growing up. You've only seen certain things, and that was just ba 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 ba. So how are you to know what good communication or resolving issues look like?
That's true. I do believe that it starts at home. So parents, watch how you communicate around your child, even the arguing, because even domestic violence, like they pick all of that up and they think that this is the normal way to have a relationship. So I agree with that. So let's go to number 2. Number 2 is physical performance. I should have left this for the last one.
No, let's get it out the way in case we got to spend 30 minutes on it. So what do you mean by physical performance issues?
That means that somebody's not getting it up and it's not happening. And this is not just for the man. This is for both. This is the man and the woman. So both of them somebody is having an issue when it comes to performing.
Well, okay, so for the men, I know when we get to like a certain age, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. So by the time we get to a certain age, there's certain things it may not be, getting up or whatever the case. And that can become an issue. She's frustrated because she want to go ahead and get it in and you can't get it in. And now you become frustrated. So yeah, that can become an issue. But at the same time, there's a lot of women who lose that drive also, whether it's been, they don't feel, comfortable with their body anymore. They might have gained some weight. They might have had some surgery that, sensitivity is now gone and they're just not in the mood. Like it's so many things when it comes to the physical performance issues. So those are the common ones that I know. And there's a lot of men, especially older, who suffer from the ED.
Erectile dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why are you saying the ED? Just get it out.
Again, this show is PG-13.
No, this show is for grown folks. So I'm hoping if some grown people are listening, that maybe this will help them. I feel like if you are in tune with your partner, you have to be in tune. And this goes back to communication. If you're in tune with your partner, then that partner should know what is going on with you. So if you're having those erectile dysfunction issues, okay, we're going to the doctor. Let's go see if we could get you some help. If the woman is having some issues to where, she doesn't feel like it, she having issues with dryness, she's she's ashamed of her body. All right, we about to have some intimate settings to where we can explore each other's body so we can be comfortable with each other. And, you could take that shame away, because I'm with my partner. So I should not be feeling shame, especially if I've been with this partner for a while. I should not be feeling ashamed of my body.
And especially they know what you can do. They know what you're capable of, all those different type of things. You're right. But, it happens. And, that'll cause sometimes, if they're not mature enough to take those steps, like we just said, that's what will cause a person to step out of the marriage. And then instead of, talking with them, you're talking about them. And it's, well, they ain't satisfying me, blah, 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 blah. And right there, you just kind of opened up a door now. So you crossed over that threshold, and who-wee.
I would say be careful who you're talking to as well. Be careful who you are telling that information to. And because, it could turn into something else.
Very true. But, okay, question. So what if there is something wrong and it can't be corrected? How would you deal with that? Because now you're not being satisfied.
So
either or.
So if something's not working, so that's one thing that's not working. So we all know that you can do other things. If that one thing is not working, you can go buy toys. You can use your mouth. You can do other things if that thing is not working. You just have to be able and willing to please your partner. And that partner has to make you feel comfortable and not make you feel like you're less than, or that you can't satisfy them. Because we know, like, as you get older, things change. So
Absolutely.
you have to be able to communicate with that partner what it is that you want and what it is that you can't do anymore, so that okay, we can do something else.
Well, again, I think a lot, when you're first meeting someone, um, a lot of women, they start, well, no, let me correct this so I can get it out correctly. Next thing you know, the phones will be blowing up. So when you first meet someone, and I know a lot of guys, one of the first things that they talk about, as women say, quote unquote, guys want to talk about sex. And I wouldn't say right away, because you're learning to learn that person. And this is how they weave those guys out, because they think, well, all they want to do is just like hit it and quit it. But I think sex do need to be brought up in the conversation early. So if we ever do get to that point or cross that bridge, you know what it is that I like, what I like to do, what I need to be done. You have my wants and my needs, instead of getting in there and then you're not satisfying me and now I never want to see you again. So that's just my view on it.
If we're dating, hell no, we ain't talking about sex. No. Why are we talking about that? We went to the next level yet. That's the commitment level. We're trying to get to know each other, and sex should not be brought up that early. It just shouldn't. It shouldn't. That's why people don't get to know each other, because they're hopping on the sex subject so quick. And then boom, you have sex, and okay, now I'm not interested no more. You weren't interested to begin with. You just wanted the sex. No, we ain't talking about sex that
Like I
early.
said,
I
they
don't
hit
care
it
what you
again.
want while I'm dating you that early. I'm not trying to sexually satisfy you.
But at the same time, you got
I'm not.
guys or women, you're not having that conversation, not having sex, and they're up and out of it anyway, just because you're not doing
Okay,
it.
I don't have,
So
and I don't
now,
have
so now,
nothing. If I have not had sex with you, I have nothing to lose. I could care less. I could care less. What's the purpose of having conversations about sex? If we're just dating, we don't really have to have conversations about sex. Both of us are grown. Evidently, I'm dating. So, okay, I wouldn't be dating you if sex was off the table. But we're not about to sit up and have, because next thing you know, all our conversations are going to be about sex. And it's like, once a man goes there, I've heard this from men. Once the conversation goes to sex, it's hard to put their mind somewhere else.
that's not true. I don't know what men that you was talking to,
That's
but that's
true.
not true.
That's true.
Now we would have we would, no, it's not. And
That's true.
and now I have to step and speak for the men, because that is not
Speak for
true.
Razal, not all the men.
No, I usually tell you when it's my opinion, don't I? But now, tonight, right now, because black men don't cheat, it is about all of us. That is not the case.
That's the
Because
case.
we can talk about it for like 10 minutes and boom, done. That conversation is over and we on to the next thing.
Trust
It's not
me.
a constant repeated. It's
It's
not
gonna
me.
be on the text messages, send me some nudes, all of that.
Oh, no.
So don't even go there. If you don't bring it up, then you don't have to worry about it. It'll that situation will progress on its own. But if you just we talking 2 days, and you like, well, what position do you like? You like sex? How many partners do you have? I hang up and I'm gonna block you. No, I'm not doing that. Let me get to know if I even like you, even if I even want to have sex with you. Because everybody you date, I ain't having sex with them. I may not even want to. That would turn me off. That would really turn me off. It would turn me off.
Well, views and opinions of
It would turn me
is
off.
of Rizal and Zal
It would turn me
alone.
off.
But
Especially if I tell you that um I am a follower of Christ, and I'm telling you, and then you want to bring up sex, that lets me know that you ain't heard nothing I said. Nothing I said.
Well, it all depends on what level of a follower are you. Are you following from the front or are you following from
I'm
the back?
following
Because
Christ.
it's always the ones. Look, even the lambs, the predators, they know which one to go after because the weakest ones, they fall to the back. So are you falling to the back? Because it could be a chance. There's always a chance that even though you say you're a follower and you're this and that, there's always a chance that you might give in.
And that's what those conversations are for. It's so to see if you are going to give in. Though that's what those conversations are for. So don't even go there. Don't even go there. It's a
I've
time
had
for it.
conversations with women who said, "Oh, I've been celibate for X amount of time," and maybe a week or 2 weeks later, we doing the horizontal mambo, and she forgets, and then she's upset with herself. Well, what was all the talk before? Men know who's the strongest and who's the weakest. We're going to go after them.
And y'all going to use those conversations to see if you can go to the next level.
But
That's why I said don't even bring it up.
But I'm not going to keep bringing it up, though. That's the only thing. I'm not going to keep bringing it up, badgering you. So I told you before, you'll get put on layaway. I may not be able to get it right now, but I'm going to save you for later. I'm going to put you on layaway, and I'm going to come back to you. And I'm going to keep putting them little deposits down on you until I get paid in full.
Let me tell you something about women. If we want to sleep with you, it's gonna happen. It'll happen soon. You ain't gotta. If you putting us on layaway, if you ain't got it in 1 to 2 years, you ain't getting it. For what? No, that ain't how women operate. We know when we first see you if we want to sleep with you or not. We already know.
That's very true, but the timing may not be correct. So you may have to wait a couple years. You may have to wait a couple months or whatever time it takes. No said, because there's been women before who, we were attracted. We never got a chance because I respected certain boundaries with them. But later on down the line, it's like, oh my God, we could have been did this, or, thank God it's happening now. And you got the heavens and the earths all opening up that we finally did it, so.
Oh God, I don't know where result I'm meeting these people. All right, let's move. So that was number 2. So number 3, like we said, we really talked about this last week when we talked about infidelity with Derek Jackson and his wife. And we know that a lot of people have this issue, and some people stay together, some people don't. Some people move on and move on to other relationships. And some people decide that, you know what, this is where I want to be. I'm going to fight for my husband or my wife, and they stay. And it's totally up to them if they want to.
Do we know what was the reason behind Derek Jackson's actions on why he did? Was there a reason? Did he say he just got tired of her? He found her unattractive? Did he say the devil made me do it? Anything? We know nothing of his actions.
First of all, who cares? That's his marriage. But he did say that it had nothing to do with him growing up, his father not being there, or any of that. It was his choice. It was his choice. So he said he wasn't blaming it on anything. It was his choice.
Okay, so he blatantly knew what he's doing. Okay.
And most people cheat do. They know what they're doing. They know the reasons that they're doing it. So don't blame it on, she wasn't doing this or he wasn't doing that. Did you communicate to that person what they wasn't doing? Why didn't you just get out because they wasn't fulfilling your needs? No, people know what they're doing. When you make a choice to cheat, you know exactly what you're doing.
Well, maybe you just chose the wrong choice.
It's a choice. It's still a choice. Whether it's wrong or right, it's a choice.
So how do you fix it?
Stop cheating. If you don't want to be there, if that person's not satisfying you, get out.
What happened to all your talk about go to counseling?
You can go to counseling. I ain't never told you to go to counseling about cheating. You never heard me say that. Cheating is not the worst all be all. It depends on your relationship and where you are with that person. If you want to leave, the Bible says you could go. You don't have to stay.
So if the person is cheating, get out. But
It's
if
up
they're
to
not cheating
no,
and there's other issues,
no.
then y'all go to
It's
counseling.
up to you if you want to stay whatever they're doing. I say get help before you just run. If you have a person and all they're doing is cheating on you, putting you at risk for you getting HIV and all these different diseases, why are you sitting there? Why? Why?
We need some some people to chime in on this with us.
Why? You need no
Anybody?
people to chime in. Cheating. If you cheating and you don't want to be cheating on, get the hell out of there.
We need
That's
some
so
viewers,
simple.
their perspective
So simple.
also on this.
Get some help. If you want to
Now, look,
stay,
I
then
didn't say
go
I
and get
disagree.
some help.
I didn't say I disagree with you,
I'm not
but I
saying you
didn't say
did.
I agree with you. Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm not saying you did. I'm in, like, you entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. And I say if you don't want to get cheated on, then get out of there. If you want to stay there and you want to work it out and you have your reasons, then stay there. It's really none of my business because I don't have to be there. I don't have to be there with you. You know what you're dealing with.
I'm not going to like you nor the less if you decide to
I don't
stay
care.
and try to save your marriage. I told you
Okay.
I'm all for black love. If you can fix it and work it out, then glory, hallelujah.
Do what's
You know,
best for you.
let's do that.
If it's detrimental to your health and is making you sick, and this is something that's happening over and over, get out of there. Get out of there. But what I'm saying is cheating is not okay. You cheated, so now I gotta leave. Some people can get past that. Some people can work past that. And if you can work past it and you can save your relationship, then do it. Then do it. All right. So number 4. This one is core mindset differences. So this one would be like if you got together and you wanted to have kids and your partner didn't, excuse me, then y'all have a difference of a mindset. So if y'all cannot come to an agreement, then somebody has to go. There's no sense of us staying here if we're not going to agree. And I know I want kids and you don't want kids, then why am I here?
But that should be something that should have been talked about beforehand.
Should be.
Hey, do you want more kids?
Should
Yes, no. So you wouldn't even got to the point of being in the relationship or whatever. If you'd have knew that's what you wanted and this person didn't, you shouldn't even be there to begin with, to be going through
But
core mindset differences.
we was too busy talking about sex. That conversation didn't come up. That didn't come up. We was talking about other stuff.
You was worried about if I was a
talking about other
cheater
stuff.
or not, that you couldn't see all of this going on.
I could care less about cheating. That's a reflection on you, not me. That's something you need to deal with, not me. So no matter how you put it, like, oh, she wasn't doing this or doing this, you still made the choice. So that's a flaw in your character, not mine.
Okay, so we still need a breakdown, and hopefully maybe we can get a chance to do a show on this.
We don't need no show on cheating. We know what cheating is.
We're not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about cheating.
We talk about cheating also. We know what cheating is.
No, we need a show where we're distinguishing between talking to, dating, and being committed. Those three things.
We did that already. If you talking, we can do it right now. It's gonna take me less than 3 minutes. If you talking to somebody, all y'all doing is talking. Ain't no sex going on. Y'all may be either going on dates. And what was the other one? Committed.
Being committed.
Okay,
exclusive.
we committed. That means
what that one is.
That means we said no, because sometimes people don't know what that means. That means we sat down and had a conversation and we both decided what commitment looks like. And we're both on the same page as far as a commitment is concerned.
Nope, that doesn't happen.
You didn't hear what I said. You asked me what was commitment. I said commitment is two people sitting down having a conversation. That's what commitment is. No, you confused. That's what commitment is. Now you're talking about other stuff. You're talking about when people don't have that conversation and distinguish if they're committed or not. I'm saying when two people have a conversation, they say we're sitting down and we're having a conversation. We want to be committed. So this is what it looks like when we're committed. Okay, we had that conversation. You're referring to people who haven't even have a conversation, but one person assumes they're committed and the other person doesn't. What was the third one? What was the third one?
It was talking.
Dating?
What was it? Talking to, commitment. No, dating. Okay. No, talking to, dating, and commitment.
So talking to, we're not doing nothing. We probably just talking on the phone, right? Dating, we're going out on dates, trying to get to know each other. And commitment, we have had that conversation, and we both have decided together that we're going to be committed. That's so simple. People make it so complicated. Dating is not complicated. Commitment is not complicated. And me just having a conversation with you is not complicated. People make it complicated because they have ulterior motives.
But see how you breaking it down. That's the way that you think it is. But it's not always like that. Because this is what I'm trying to say. Because talking to could be, in their eyes, dating. I'm talking to this person, like you said. Yes, we're going on dates.
That's why you have the conversation. I'm not
going to say nobody is saying, let's sit down and let's talk about commitment. Right. Most of the time, they just end up in it.
No.
And it's like, okay, yes. And they realize, like, okay, we're committed. We're not going to say, okay, we're going to be committed now.
Yes,
okay?
that's the problem. Yes. That's the problem.
Nobody's not saying we're going to be committed now.
The problem is you don't have that conversation. So one person is thinking, oh, we're committed. We're monogamous. No, we didn't even talk about that. We didn't even talk about what type of relationship that we're going to have. We didn't even talk about what type of commitment we're going to have. Are we going to be committed to each other, but we can see other people, but as long as, we have this thing you got to have those conversations. That's the problem. We don't have those conversations. I'm going to tell you why we don't have those conversations. Let me tell you why we don't have them. You ready?
Wait a minute, is this going to be like number 5 or you going to
No, but I'm going to tell you why we don't have these conversations. Because
we don't have
let me tell you why. Women, we control when we have sex. Men control if we're in a relationship or not. But 90% of the time, the man does not establish that relationship. So we're walking around trying to figure out, what are we doing? What are we doing? And that's because man's supposed to be the head, right? So the man's supposed to say, we're babe, I want to be in a relationship with you. I want to be committed with you. Where are you at? Men don't do that because not all men, because there are some great men out there, So for those of you who are doing this, that don't establish a relationship or don't, because they don't want to put titles. Oh, we don't want titles. It's a title whether you put one on there or not. But I'm not even going to blame the men. I'm going to blame the women who's sitting there in this, whatever this mess is, without a title, without what it says.
Women? Obviously there's a field of some uncertainty on both parts, male and female, that there's no clarification on what
somebody got to step up and clarify.
Mostly they just go with the flow and let it just be natural.
No, that ain't natural. The hell no, that ain't natural.
You know if you're with a person or not. There's certain signals and everything that lets you know that you're with this person, and you feel confident to know that once you get introduced at the family reunion, he's going to say. He's not going to say my girlfriend. I mean, he's going to say my girlfriend and not my friend or whatever the case.
Ladies, get clarification. All right. Don't get to the family reunion and you don't know what the hell you are to this man. All right. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
He will let you know right then and there.
Don't do it to yourself.
That is going to be the test on what
get clarification. All right. That's what's wrong. We don't have thank you, Kendra. We don't have enough men standing up. We got a bunch of foolishness. Ladies, you have the control and you don't realize that you have the control. Okay. We have it, but you don't exercise that you have this control. Stop allowing these people to have you in these la-la relationships that are going nowhere. You done spent a year or two with this person. You still don't know if you're in a relationship with him or not. I blame you, ladies. I blame you for that. Don't allow somebody to put you on layaway, as Rizal has said. Don't allow them to do it. Ask the questions. If the man cannot answer the tough questions, you don't need to be with him. If he don't know what this relationship is and he got to think about it, let me leave you alone until you figure it out. Keep dating. Keep dating until he decides to make it a commitment. Kenya says, a man will let you know what position you play in his life. A man, keyword, Kendra, a man. There's a difference. And men get mad when I say there's a difference between a male and a man. But I didn't come up with it. A man came up with it. But men get mad. Hey, Lisa, men get mad when you say that. It's a difference. And you know the difference. You know if you're a man or a male or not. You know if you playing games. You already know. If y'all just tuning in, y'all already know it's Relationship Monday. And we're talking about when people have issues in their relationships. And
but what topic was the topic?
It's a good topic. So y'all, please do me a favor. Like and share the show out. All right. We're talking about when people have issues in their relationship, issues plaguing couples, when they have issues in their relationship. So we talked about the miscommunication, when you're not aligned. We talked about when you're not able to perform physical performance. We talked about infidelity, because we know a lot of people, that issue plagues a lot of people. We talked about having a core mind, your difference of opinions when it comes to your relationship. And that all stems back to communication. Make sure that you're communicating with your
Always
partner.
lead to communication.
And here's a good one. Boredom. You bored in this relationship. It's so boring. You're not even creative no more. You don't even want to be with this person anymore. We do the same thing. We Netflixing and chilling. There's
Now,
no
see-
creativity in this relationship.
See, now this one right here, there shouldn't be boredom, because if we would have had previous conversations, as you say, then you would know where we're compatible at and what interests and likes that we like. We should have
Okay.
something in common that we both
I'm
both
bored with
can
you.
share, that we bring to the table. Not bored. Whether if we both like Netflix, that's what we should be doing. If we both like swimming, then that's what we should be doing. There should be no boredom.
There is boredom in a relationship, and people do get divorced because there is boredom. That's another reason for divorce. I'm sorry to tell you, but it is. Ooh,
Then you
Kenya says, I
definitely gotta
personally
put up a
believe that
relationship.
over a certain age, you are too old to be somebody's girlfriend. Don't introduce me as your girlfriend. No, I'm not. No, when he get ready to introduce me and he get ready, I'm Rochelle. I'm Rochelle. You don't even know. No, don't even. No, I ain't a girl. I'm a woman. Don't introduce me as that way. But okay,
You're my
back to
girlfriend,
boredom.
Rochelle.
What?
I say you're my girlfriend, Rochelle.
No, we're friends. If I introduce you and we haven't put a title on it, soon as I see somebody, I'm gonna say, Resolve, this is my friend. Resolve, my friend, this, I'm gonna introduce both of y'all as friends. So both of y'all looking at each other like, both of us.
No, but right then, that's it. That's when you get your clarification of the
No,
title.
it's not. I'm
because
not
he's gonna
putting you
say-
on the spot.
He's going to say, this is my girlfriend,
No.
Rochelle, or my whatever
I'm gonna
it is.
already know.
Right then, you get the clarification.
I'm already had that
Because Rochelle
clarification.
leave, and if he used the word, oh, this is my friend Rochelle, oh, you're gonna look, oh, I'm just your friend now.
No, I'm already had that
Oh, I'm your
clarification
friend?
before we
Okay.
get there.
And now the whole thing gonna go left just because of one word, friend or girlfriend. No.
No, because I'm
You
already
get your
had that clarification.
You get it at the cookout.
Communication, baby. I'm already had that clarification before we step in that cookout. I'm gonna already know what role I play in your life. Oh, I'm not going to the cookout. All right. Why am I meeting your family? No, not doing it. Mylea says, you know, we're gonna run out of time. Mylea says, always date your spouse, surprise each other, hang out, get to know each other. The new things you like. I totally agree. And I see Mylea and her spouse doing that. And me and my girls we love the way they love each other. So that's so important. It's so important.
Because Uncle
And
Benny
I know it's true,
and
Mylea.
Aunt Claire, they're gonna wonder, like, ooh, I wonder where he got that thing from.
Oh, Beatrice says, at this point, I'm his old lady. But Beatrice, I bet that you and your guy have had these conversations, and so you know where you stand. He's not playing games with you, so you know that already. We talking about these people who are playing games, right?
Hey, real quick off subject. I got some people who's trying to comment, but they can't see it. Is there something that they can do? You can just let them know.
Are they
They're trying to comment.
commenting?
Yeah, I'm not sure which one they're on.
Are they commenting under hold on? Are they under intellectual on YouTube? You see
That I don't know.
Are they on my Facebook page or are they on the Warriors Talk page?
I'll have to
Beatrice,
find
I
out
knew
when
it.
we go.
Y'all
So
have an
we can-
understanding.
Yeah, we can try to rectify it for next time.
Mylea says, in mature relationships, you should be able to determine the status of your relationship before anyone else does. There is no need to step around it. That's the problem. Ladies, I'm blaming ladies for this. Because if we don't ask, they're not going to say. If you're not with a man that knows what he wants, he's not going to state it because it's probably not you. So if you feel like enough time has passed by and you want to know where you stand in that relationship, ask the question. Ask the question.
Well, if you got to ask the question, obviously it ain't
Ask
no
the
relationship.
freaking question. All right?
I'm saying-
Ask it. Where do we stand? All right? Where do we stand? And
that's
give him a
after how
chance
long?
to give him a chance to answer it. Don't say, well, if I got to ask a question, then we don't stand nowhere, but you still there. Ask the question.
But how long before you should ask? How long
That's
before
up to
you should
you.
ask the question?
That's up to that person. I can't determine that for you. You know, if you've been in a
Okay, so it's been
relationship
3
for a
months.
while, and
it's been 90 days.
it's
It's been
up to
3
you.
months.
It's
Should you ask the
totally,
question?
it's up to you and how much time you feel has passed, and you feel like you is being you tired, then you feel, you know, when your time has run out, you ask the question. I'm not giving you no time. I'm not saying 90 days. I'm not saying 6 months, but you know, ask the question. Kenya says some women don't mind playing. They don't mind playing second, and they don't. I'm not doing it, and don't mind suddenly. Not doing it. We too old. We're too old. Kimmy Mitchell says if you value yourself as a woman, don't settle for someone who does not see your worth. Girl, we could shut the show down because you. That's it. That's it right there. We can shut it down, Kimmy. That's it.
Wait a minute. We need more guys on here.
That's
I hate
it.
always defending the guys
No,
and they ain't got my
this
back.
is to women. Women need to ask the question, because trust me, the man will, if he will drag it out. He'll drag it out. But if you know that your time is valuable, like Kimmy said, you know your worth, then you ask the question. This is why we should be dating more than one person. I ain't say sleep with. You should be dating more than one person if you have not made that commitment. So if he is unsure, then okay. All right. Hey, Billy. You ain't got to be sleeping with him, but you should be dating. If he don't know what, then keep moving around. Kenya said, that's it. Ain't nobody else to discuss. That's it. Ain't nothing else to discuss. And that's true. It ain't. But ladies, we, for some reason, we're afraid to ask. We're afraid that we're going to rock the boat. We're afraid that if we ask this man that, okay, do it. Ask him. I'm not saying in a confrontational way. We know how to be sweet. We know how to be cunning. Ask that man, where do we stand? And if he doesn't know, that's your opportunity to say, all right, let me just take a step back. Let's just take a step back. When you figure it out, I'm going to be over here doing my thing.
Ask them 30 minutes after y'all just got finished getting it in. And before the family cookout, you'll have all the answers that you need to know within that time.
You don't have to listen to Resolve, and because you know what you do. All right. You know what you do. So you know that's not what you're doing. Right. Ask that man. I don't care if you ask him after sex. I don't care if you ask him before sex. Open your mouth and ask him. Don't be afraid to do it. You know your worth. And you know that there's somebody else that's out there that will know it. And if he doesn't know it, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. There's somebody else out there that will. All right, let's move on to the next one. Where are we? Unrealistic expectations, you guys. This is a big one right here. And that really ties back into what we was talking about. When you don't, go ahead.
This is the interesting one.
Yeah.
Unrealistic expectations.
And this is all about opening your mouth, because if you have these expectations like, oh, where is this relationship going? You know, oh, I think we doing this. Oh, since he introduced me to his family, I think this. No. Open your mouth and ask, where is this going? Don't expect anything, because you know, don't expect, don't assume, because you know what assuming does. You know what it does. So don't assume and don't expect.
And then the whole relationship is washed. But I guess maybe some women feel as though if they do open their mouth, they could be pushing the man away. Like, wow, I should have never said anything. But
you know what?
In the lady's defense, if you did that, then he just wasn't the man for you.
Exactly. I totally agree. 100%. Kenya said, but again, here we go. Man will let you know what position you play in his life, so you don't have to ask him. Key word again is man. Let me tell you this. If a man wants you and he don't want nobody else to have you, he about to lock you down, baby. He about to lock it down. He about to hurry up and be like, we committed. I don't want you seeing nobody else. Trust me. That's exactly what they would do. They're going to lock it down. Malia says, thank you for your wisdom. Lady Rochelle, no one has time to play games. We don't have time to play games. We too old. I'm 50. I don't. I played my games already. I don't have time. Kenya says, how could you say it's a relationship with that has not been identified? It hasn't been identified. Exactly. So, because this is why, that's a great point. This is why, Kenya, because it looks like a relationship, right? We sleeping together. We hanging out every day. He texting me. We going out to eat. I'm hanging around his friends. It looks like a relationship, but it's not. And why? Because we have not had that conversation. Have the conversation. Have the conversation. Don't be walking around in no imposter relationship. Don't do it. You only waste you. Go ahead, say it. I'm sorry.
You know what they say? Everything ain't got to be seen or heard. You know where you stand at with me. I'm trying to read as well.
Oh, Kimmy says, listen, plain and simple. Men need to learn how to play their cards right. When they have a queen in their hands, they're lost. Girl, okay, girl. I'm about to shut the show down. I'm about to shut it down. Kenya said, I agree. That's called jumping to conclusions. When we jump to conclusions. We assume. Stop assuming. But that's true. And then there have been some men out here that have played games, and women too. And then you have you lost this person, and you see, dang, that was my king, that was my queen. All because you felt like, it's so many options out here right now, especially with like social media. It's so easy for people just slide in your DM for you to have a relationship, an internet relationship. You really got to see the people. Women feed your ego.
So I got to feel in touch. I'm not going for. That's why I don't deal with the whole dating thing, internet, because it's again, women, they look for that perfect 10, that Prince Charming on there, and I'm just not that or whatever. And so, yeah.
We're not looking for no We're not looking for no perfect people, because we know ain't nobody out here perfect. So don't try to put that on us. If anything, we have settled a lot.
Y'all ain't going out there saying, "Oh, girl, I need that 7 in my life tonight." So, where he at? I don't see no women going out there talking about I need perfect. That 7.
Exactly.
Or that 6 or that 5.
Nobody's perfect. Stop. And we all have flaws. And if anybody realizes that, women realizes that. And trust me, we would, if we say, oh yeah, we want a man who's 6'5", 200 and something pounds, he has a good job and he loves God. And if he don't have all of that, women be like, all right, let me see what, okay, well, he has 3 out of the 7, whatever. Women, we do that on a daily basis. We do that. So don't try to make it seem like, oh, women got these high standards and we don't want to be with nobody until they cross all these T's and that. No.
Women at certain ages may feel like that because they feel as though they're not looking like they was when they was in their teens or their 20s. So they realize that they running out of time, and Farmer Brown down the road is looking real good in his overalls. And it's like, I better hurry up and jump on this. He ain't that 10, he ain't that 9, but he out there working that field. So yeah, so it's getting to become more of a settling thing, like a rush thing now, because your 50-year-old self or your 60-year-old self and you still single, you running out of time.
Why are we running out of time? Where are we going? Why are we running out of time? Why are we running out of time?
Because people aren't living as long as they used to anymore. Life is starting to become shorter. As many times as we say, man, life is short. It's starting to become shorter. So you already at your 60. Life expectancy is at 78 and I'm at 60. I'm still single. So you mean to tell me I only got about 10, 12 years left?
So
enjoying myself or something?
Because you said we're running out of time. We gotta run and just accept Joe Schmo down the street. No.
Yep.
Some women would just be, we okay. Like Tabitha said, she would like to have a 7.
Nobody if wants it's a to 7, die alone.
You don't have to die alone. That doesn't mean you can have family. You can have kids. That doesn't say you have a significant
other. Forget the family.
You don't have to.
You want that one person that's talking, that's with you, that's been with you intimately. Y'all share bank accounts. Y'all share combs and brushes. That's the person who you want, not family. Oh, my mother. How does it look? You signing documents and you putting your mother name down as the reference.
But check this out. I would rather do that. I would rather do that than to have a fool in my life making a fool out of me. I would rather do that. I would rather sign my mother's name on paperwork and have her as my next of kin than to have somebody dragging me down. I would rather do that. We're not that desperate. Trust me, we're not that desperate.
Dragging you down. He's a good person. We talking about you still being single at a certain age because, again, it could have been you was playing games.
Okay, be single. Be single. If you want to be single, be single. If you at 50, if you want to date 5 or 6 people, do that. Do that. Do that. But don't let society standards say, oh, you have to be, if you 50, you got to be married, or 60, you got to be married. No, do what your heart desires. Don't do what somebody else is doing, because you have to live with that choice that you make. Kimmy says a real woman would rather be alone and happy with, come on, Kimmy, would rather be alone and happy than with just someone, and be unhappy. You don't understand. Women will do it. Women will do it. Boy, they got batteries for days. Stock up. We don't need
nothing
that.
like the real thing. I don't care what you say about stocking up on
Trust
that.
me.
Ain't
You don't know
nothing
that
like the
because
real
you don't
thing.
use it. Do you use the toys? But how you know? How you know it ain't nothing like the real thing? Do you use the toys? You don't know. You don't know. You don't
Because
know.
just like you said,
Kenya, my happiness is everything to me. I totally agree with you.
That's why you need to have that sex conversation.
I totally agree. What sex conversation?
I said that's why you need to have that sex conversation.
I'm good on the sex thing. I don't need toys. But if my man, if we wants to use them, let's do this. We could do whatever. Men just sometimes y'all scared of toys because y'all feel the toys gonna outperform y'all. Okay, my Leah says no one has to be desperate to be with someone who is subpar. I agree. It's okay to want a good person who compliments you and who is compatible. A lot of times these people don't even compliment us. Come on. We don't have to be desperate. There is somebody out there for you that's gonna be there, and you're not gonna have to wonder where that relationship is going or coming. There's some real men out here that want to be in relationships and that's not playing games.
They are, but we keep getting overlooked because
y'all not getting overlooked. Don't get overlooked.
We're getting
you saying you're a good man. The women not saying. What are the women saying? What are the women saying? What are women saying? What are we saying?
You want that guy that's 6'5", brown sugar and everything, and because I'm not 6'5", I'm 5'6".
That's not it.
Or whatever the case, I get overlooked. You're overlooking the guys and you're picking the jokers.
Let me tell you this. Just like women have to position themselves so that they can be chosen by the right people that they have their eyes on. Position yourself amongst women that you feel that should be choosing you. Kimmy says, listen, stock up on... I love Kimmy. I love you. Kimmy says, stock up on those AAA batteries. It's AA batteries before you let a buster be around. Girl. All right. On that note, let me say this. Position yourself to be found by your one. Okay. You don't have to settle. And when I say settle, I don't mean like, you're out here with these unrealistic expectations and, you're talking about preferences when you talk about, I want him to be tall, I want him to be short. No, you want somebody to be loyal. You want somebody to have integrity. You want somebody to be able to communicate with you. You want somebody that's a family person. You want your core values to be met. And if they don't meet those core values, cut them. I'm not talking about preferences. I'm not talking about height. I'm not talking about weight. I'm not talking about jobs. I'm talking about core preferences, something that you cannot live without. That's what I'm talking about. Don't settle on your core preferences.
But what about attraction? Should you be at least feel attracted to them with those guys? What about attraction?
You could be attracted to them. We're not talking about attraction. You can be attracted to them. Sometimes those things make that person attractive. On that note, we are out of time. You guys, please share this show. Do me a favor. Like and share the show. Okay, you guys, I appreciate your comments. You guys, Lisa, Kenya, Mylia, Kimmy, Tabitha, thank you guys so much for your comments. Rizal, I always appreciate you and your wisdom. And Beatrice, thank you guys for tuning in.
It's always fun with you.
I appreciate it. We have healthy debates, so I appreciate just you lending the male side and me the women's side. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we need more men.
Well, you bring the men. I got the women.
I've been trying.
I bring the women. You got to bring the men.
With Cadillac.
Oh, I forgot to tag them. I forgot to tag them.
You ain't sending it to the men.
No, I have all the women. It's your job to bring the men. I got the women. Come on now, somebody slacking. Who's slacking?
I'll be bringing both.
Where
I
they
think I
at?
bring more
Where
women.
they
I
at?
think I bring more women
Where the
than
women
I do
at?
men.
Where the women at? Where do these are people? Now I'm not sure if Kimmy is yours, but these are my people.
Kimmy is
So
mine.
Kimmy is yours. So Kenya is mine. Beatrice is mine. Mylia is mine. Lisa is mine. Come on now. I need you to pull your weight. All right. On that note, I love you, Rizal. On that note, I'm gonna leave
I
y'all
love
with
you too, baby.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave y'all with these words of wisdom. A strong relationship requires choosing to love each other in those moments when you struggle to even like each other. So join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady Rochelle, co-hosting Rizal Gilmore. Warriors Talk is changing lives, one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on IntellectualRadio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady Rochelle, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.